Friends, do you have a very low budget for Ladakh trip and want to understand how can you plan a budget trip to Ladakh using public transport, probably under a budget of rupees 16,000 to 18,000? Well, budget is an integral part of any trip, but it becomes very critical when you make a trip to Ladakh because of high number of days required to even make a basic trip up there. And it is a simple math. More the number of days, more will be the cost of food and stay. Now combining it with the fact that self-drive cars are not allowed for sightseeing in Ladakh, most people are left to opt for taxis whose rates are considerably high due to rough terrain, bad roads and a short tourist season window in Ladakh. Today in this Express FAQ series on traveling to Ladakh, I'll help you plan your upcoming Ladakh trip on a budget using public transport. So let's get started. Jule friends, if you are new to my channel, my name is Dheeraj and I help people in planning memorable trips to the Himalayas. Well, before we dive deeper into the topic, let us set some basic ground rules. Firstly, in order to help you understand better, I'll outline an example Ladakh trip itinerary that covers the entire circuit from Delhi to Srinagar to Leh to Nubra Valley, Pangong Tso, Tso Moriri and Manali. Secondly, I'll follow a mix and match approach of using public transport in Ladakh as well as shared tourist taxis. At some part of this plan, I'll also share some other available transport options for you. Thirdly, I'm assuming that since you are on a budget trip to Ladakh, you will be finding places on the spot and you'll not be pre-booking them as advance booking end up mostly being costly. And finally, all the cost of accommodation that I'll use in the calculations are on twin sharing basis. Now let us start with day 1 where you will be traveling from Delhi to Jammu. There are buses available between Delhi Jammu that cost around rupees 700 as well as between Delhi Srinagar where sleeper buses cost around rupees 1900 and non-sleeper one cost around rupees 1700. However, the most economic way to travel from Delhi to Jammu is by train. You need to pay around rupees 450 for sleeper class in train and rupees 1100 for a 30-year AC. So the cost of travel for day 1 should be around rupees 450 by sleeper class in train. Now for the cost of stay, you will find many budget guest houses and stays near the bus stand at Jammu ranging from rupees 800 to rupees 1200. So you can consider rupees 400 to 500 for a stay in Jammu at double sharing basis. Hence, at the end of day 1, the total cost spent on transport and accommodation is rupees 850 to rupees 950. Now on second day, you will be traveling from Jammu to Srinagar where you will find plenty of buses running between these two places. The cost ranges from rupees 750 for tempo travelers to rupees 600 for semi-deluxe buses and to rupees 550 for ordinary state transport buses. Finding shared taxis from Jammu to Srinagar is quite easy from Gumat taxi stand. The shared taxi costs around rupees 1000 per person per seat. So the cost of travel on day 2 is rupees 550 by state transport bus. Now for the cost of stay, you will find many budget guest houses and stays near Nagin Lake or Dal Lake or at the backside of Dal Lake ranging from rupees 900 to rupees 1200. So you can consider rupees 450 to 500 for a stay in Srinagar. Hence, at the end of day 2, the total transport and accommodation cost is rupees 1850 to rupees 2000. Now on day 3, you will be traveling from Srinagar to Kargil and there are plenty of shared taxis as well as daily buses that are available to run between these two places. Shared taxis to Leh from Srinagar cost around rupees 1800 with a night stop at Kargil. However, there is a direct semi-deluxe bus as well that runs from Srinagar to Leh which costs about rupees 800 and for a deluxe bus it costs around rupees 1400. These buses will stop overnight at Kargil. So the cost of travel for day 2 is rupees 800 for Srinagar to Leh by semi-deluxe bus. Now for the cost of stay, you can easily find a guest house in Kargil ranging from rupees 800 to rupees 1000. So you can consider rupees 400 to 500 for a stay in Kargil. Hence at the end of day 3, the total expenses of transport and accommodation is rupees 3050 to rupees 3300. On day 4, you will be traveling from Kargil to Leh and there are plenty of shared taxis and daily buses of JKSRTC that run between Kargil and Leh. But you will be continuing your journey in Srinagar to Leh bus that you hopped on day 3. And of course, you may miss to visit the Lamayuru monastery when you are traveling by public transport. Hence, the cost of travel on day 4 is rupees 0 as you have already covered it on day 3. Now for the cost of stay, you can easily find a guest house or a homestay in Leh ranging from rupees 800 to rupees 1000. So you can consider rupees 400 to 500 for a cost of stay in Leh on double sharing basis. Hence, at the end of day 4, the total cost of travel and stay on your budget trip to Ladakh by public transport is rupees 3450 to rupees 3800. On day 5, it will be your rest day in Leh and you will be acclimatizing your body for the high altitude. Here you are not left with many options of travel but to either get a scooter or a bike on rent, which will cost you around Rs 1000 to Rs 1200, or you can hire a local shared tourist taxi for local sightseeing tour that might cost you around Rs 700 per seat. It is important that you rest on this day to avoid any AMS. On day 5, the cost of travel is Rs 700 for a shared taxi tour of local Leh town. The cost of stay, as we have already discussed, you can consider Rs 400 to 500 for a stay in Leh. Hence, at the end of day 5, the total cost spent on transport and accommodation is Rs 4550 to Rs 5000. On day 6, you will start your Ladakh sightseeing and you will move from Leh to Nubra Valley first. Tourist share taxis are available to travel for a 2-day trip to Nubra Valley from Leh, which costs around Rs 2000. You will also get public share taxis as well for Nubra Valley near Polo Ground in Leh at Rs 600 only, so the return cost will be around Rs 1200 only by public share taxis. Similarly, within Nubra Valley, you can travel by shared taxis for around Rs 400, but it will be a bit inconvenient if you plan to travel too many places within Nubra Valley. Also, if you are lucky, you can get a JKSRTC state transport bus to this kit, which costs just Rs 250, which means only 500 rupees for a return. However, it depends on the bus if that is running on the day of your travel or not. Now, for the cost of travel, you will be spending Rs 1600 for a Leh to Nubra Valley to Leh trip, considering you will opt for public share taxis. Now for the cost of stay, you can easily find a guest house or a homestay in Nubra Valley at Hundar or Diskit ranging from Rs 800 to Rs 1000, so you can consider Rs 400 to 500 for a stay in Nubra Valley. Hence, at the end of day 6, the total transport and accommodation cost is around Rs 6550 to Rs 7000. On day 7, you will be returning from Nubra Valley to Leh, and cost of return travel we have already considered on day 6. Now for the cost of stay, you already know that in Leh you can easily get around Rs 400 to 500 per night stay. Hence, at the end of day 7, the total expenses of transport and accommodation is Rs 6950 to Rs 7500. On day 8, you will be traveling from Leh to Pangong Tso Lake. Tourist share taxis are available to travel for a 2-day trip to Pangong Tso from Leh, costing about Rs 2000 per seat. However, assuming you started your trip on a Friday evening from Delhi, it will be Saturday on this day. Hence, you can also get a JKSRTC bus at only Rs 600 for a return journey from Pangong Tso to Leh. So, the cost of travel for day 8 and day 9 is Rs 600 for a return, considering you get a JKSRTC bus to Pangong Tso scheduled on a Saturday. Now for the cost of stay, you can easily find a homestay or dormitory tents at Pangong Tso at Rs 500 to Rs 600 per person per day. So you can consider Rs 500 for a stay at Pangong Tso. Of course, the cost of stay will be much higher in case you plan to stay in tents with attached toilets or better guest houses with attached bathrooms. But I am assuming that you are on a budget trip to Ladakh, so you'll be okay with staying at homestays. Hence, at the end of day 8, the total cost of travel and stay on your trip to Ladakh by using public transport is Rs 8050 to Rs 8600. Now on day 9, you will be returning from Pangong Tso to Leh, and we have already considered the cost of travel for this day, and for the stay in Leh, you already know that it will be around Rs 400 to 500. Hence, at the end of day 9, the total cost spent on transport and accommodation is Rs 8450 to Rs 9100. Now on day 10, you will be traveling from Leh to Tso Moriri Lake, and tourist share taxis are available to travel for a 2-day trip to Tso Moriri from Leh, costing about Rs 2800. Also, there is a JKSRTC bus that runs on every 10th, 20th and 30th day of the month from Leh to Tso Moriri and costs just about Rs 800 for a return ticket. If you are lucky enough and the dates clash on these days, you can consider saving about Rs 1200 in overall budget. So for the cost of travel for day 10 and day 11 is Rs 2800, considering you will be taking a shared taxi in case your dates do not match the dates of JKSRTC bus to Tso Moriri from Leh. Now for the cost of stay, you can easily find a guest house or a homestay at Tso Moriri ranging from Rs 800 to 1000, so you can consider Rs 400 to 500 for a stay at Tso Moriri homestays. Of course, the cost of rented accommodations with attached washroom are much higher in comparison to homestays. Hence, at the end of day 10, the total transport and accommodation cost is Rs 11,650 to Rs 12,400. On day 11, you will return to Leh from Tso Moriri. We have already considered the cost of travel for this day, and for stay in Leh, you know that it will cost you around Rs 400 to 500. Hence, at the end of day 11, the total expenses for transport and accommodation is Rs 12,050 to Rs 12,900. On day 12, you will start your return journey to home via Manali, and you will find plenty of options to travel on this route. daily HRTC buses are available to travel to Kelong on the first day, the second day to Manali and third day to Delhi. However, there is a direct bus to Delhi from Leh by HRTC which costs around just Rs 1400 and that covers the journey in 2 days with the overnight halt at Kelong. The buses are also available up to Kelong and Manali as well. Also, there is an HPTTC tourist bus that stops at all tourist sightseeing places on Manali-Leh highway and takes an overnight halt at Kelong, but it costs a little more higher than the regular ones. Finally, lots of shared taxis options are also available, both local as well as tourist ones. But for this example, we'll consider direct HRTC bus to Delhi from Leh via Kelong and Manali, which will cost just around Rs 1400. Now for the cost of stay, you can easily find a guest house or a homestay in Kelong ranging from Rs 800 to Rs 1000. So you can consider Rs 400 to 500 for a stay in Kelong. Hence, at the end of day 12, the total cost of travel and stay is Rs 13,850 to Rs 14,800. Now finally on day 13, you will complete the trip to Delhi from Kelong via Manali in the same HRTC bus that you onboarded from Leh on day 12. At the end of this itinerary, the total cost of transport and accommodation on your budget trip to Ladakh by public transport is Rs 13,850 to Rs 14,800. Friends, so far we have just talked about the cost of travel and cost of stay. But what about the cost of food? The food all over Ladakh is quite economic unless you wish to lavishly spend in restaurants in Leh and Manali. If you eat at regular dhabas where the buses or the shared taxis stop and do not wish to go into high-end restaurants in Leh or Manali, you will not be spending more than Rs 300 to Rs 350 per day on food. Taking this factor into account, the above 13-day road trip to Ladakh may not cost you more than Rs 3900 to Rs 4550 for the food cost. Hence, with this food cost known to us now, the total cost of Ladakh trip by public transport comes out to be Rs 17,750 to Rs 19,350, which is well under 20,000. So friends, you can see that if you are really lucky or plan carefully to get public transport buses within Ladakh as well as to Tso Moriri, you may consider saving much more, making a budget trip to Ladakh possible well under Rs 16,500 only. And in case you drop Tso Moriri from the plan and only travel to Pangong Tso and Nubra Valley, then you can very much make a Ladakh trip by public transport possible on a budget of Rs 15,000 approximately. At the end of it, I'm sure you can use this example to fit your own custom plan. It will give you the confidence for making a budget trip to Ladakh by public transport well under a budget of Rs 17,000 that includes places like Srinagar Leh Highway, Manali Leh Highway, Nubra Valley, Pangong Tso and Tso Moriri. In my next video, I'll talk more about the details on the bus services that run between Jammu to Leh and Srinagar to Leh. So stay tuned my friends and I'll see you in my next video. Now in the end, if you found this video helpful, do not forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you need any help or have any questions on your upcoming trip to the Himalayas, please feel free to leave a comment down below and I'll be more than happy to help you out right away. Till then my friends, Jule and please keep our Himalayas clean.